Today we're filming with Amanda from Early Days Doula. She runs a phenomenal business which is all about supporting mums both practically and emotionally once they've had their baby. We talk in the podcast about how she got into the business, some of the challenges she's faced along the way, and where it's headed to next. Tune in on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast to hear the full episode. Looking back into the market, and auction clearance rates continue to be a good indicator on how the market is actually tracking. In Sydney last weekend, 730 properties were scheduled to go to auction, which is the busiest week since April this year, and a large improvement on this time last year, where only 590 properties went under the hammer. We're finding that the increased number of properties on the market is due to COVID. Spring is usually the busiest selling season, but with a prolonged period of minimal activity during the first lockdowns, more people are bringing their properties to market prior to spring. This poses the next big question. Will this season's spring selling market perform the previous years? At this stage, there seems to be a steady flow of listings coming to market, but certainly not as high as it usually is. In the 4 years prior to the pandemic, the number of new properties listed for sale nationally, on average, has increased 6.3% between late July and late August. This year, however, the equivalent period has seen a 9.6% decline in new listings nationally. Unsurprisingly, this can be attributed to a sharp fall in new listings across Melbourne, with the decline in new listings being 54% in the month to August, accounting for over 100% of the national decline. Conversely, most other capital cities saw an increase in new listings as greater levels of consumer confidence and lower levels of COVID cases saw vendors ramping up for the spring selling season. Across Sydney, however, new listings had also started to slip marginally, and some of the clients we've been chatting to have had reluctance to come to market as most need to buy something once sold, and the lack of stock is causing a sense of nervousness that they won't find anything. As consumption falls and unemployment spikes, vendors feel less confident selling their property and getting their desired price. This is further supported by the close movement exhibited between sales volumes and the Consumer Sentiment Index. Significant falls in monthly sales volumes have closed a line with the indicator, as you'll see in this graph. The drop in sales volumes in times of high economic uncertainty, such as around the GFC and the national stage 2 restrictions in March and April, indicates sellers and buyers are less likely to participate in property transactions during the negative economic shocks of periods of heightened uncertainty. What the lack of stock does do is create some strong competition, and the market continues to go from strength to strength, with most of our clients achieving amazing results when selling their homes. For these clients, there's plenty of options around delayed settlements and even rent-back options once sold. Well, that's all for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay safe, and the team and I look forward to seeing you out and about. Have a great week.